guys? Jesse the Mycophiliac here. I'm just going to run y'all through some of the stuff, like a project I did at school. I think it might be interesting. Some of y'all might be interested in, especially if you're here in Alaska. I wrote, let me see if I can make this bigger here. Oh, I got to adjust it here. Alright, just go ahead and minimize that so you don't got to see that. A bunch of schoolwork, tons and tons of projects, right? Here we go. I should be able to, and then I edit over here, and boom, sorry about that. I guess I thought I had that figured out before I started recording. Alright, so I went through this project, and it's basically about using microwave assisted pyrolysis, which is basically like just a big microwave with a sealed container to cook everything from the inside out until it reduces it back to carbon, or it's kind of like its natural state and base elements. It takes a lot of work, but I did a project on it because specifically here in Alaska, and I don't think a lot of people understand this, or maybe don't realize this yet, but Anchorage, Southeast Alaska is set to run out of natural gas in the next 8 years. And I got that directly from Anchorage Assembly, quoted in Must Read Alaska in 2023, so in December. And so this is back in December, they just said this. And so I just don't think a lot of people have really picked this up yet. 97% of our energy here in Alaska is natural gas. So I just imagine some harsh winters where we have to use quite a bit more gas like we've had, and people running out of fuel. And that bothers me a lot that we're not taking more action on this. And so I was reading and writing about it, and I think there's a huge opportunity here for these types of technologies to move in and really just help people, and also extreme profit for those that are investing in it, like microwave assisted pyrolysis. It's expensive to use. I'm aware that they have some going on right now. They're trying to work some types of those that power like 25% of Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, as far as I'm tracking. And I've written about some of that here in the paper. And so I love Alaska. I love it here, and I would like it to be, pristine for future generations to come. And so we have the huge landfill. Anybody that's driven by the Anchorage landfill knows how smelly it's been getting. It's getting worse every year, and I think people are starting to realize that. But they say they capture roughly 60 to 90%. Large variance, by the way. I believe it's definitely closer to that 60%, especially with how bad it is. But I think that there's definitely possible ways with the work that they're putting on out there. They can just start reusing this. If we get these large bioreactors going, these large MAP biogas facilities going, we can start cooking the biogas and synth gas out of there. And then there's also a large opportunity for, in the mushroom industry specifically, or the mycology industry, and this is why I really bring this up to you guys, is because to produce this, it's the extremophiles in there that really help produce some of these gases. So I just kind of wanted to bring that up, that there's a lot of different gases that can be made from it and used in producing other chemicals and fuels if necessary, to kind of replace, and maybe, I don't know if it'll be carbon neutral positive, but I think, somebody much smarter than me can do the math there and figure this out. But I think we can start to become, make a huge difference here, especially in places like Anchorage, where the landfill's been, basically being dumped in since the existence of the United States here, past 50, 60, 70 years, and 300,000 people here with all their waste just going to the same place. It is insane to me. And I think we could definitely, we're in a position to do something about it. And I believe there may be some small villages that have small bioreactors as well. But there is a biogas and biomass training that they offer here, but I couldn't find any links to actually sign up for the training. But supposedly they do some biogas training and or biomass training here for everyone to do it. So there's so many opportunities here, and then we could turn around and use the biochar created from this processing to go ahead and start cleaning up all the mining waste that we have here in Alaska. Everywhere from Bocan Mine, which I don't think anybody is aware is up and running again this year, and all that money's funding right out of the United States to the foreign companies that are mining Bocan Mine. The same with, and so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I've done research in all the mines, and I've presented several projects, which you can pretty much see tons of these here. And I've presented all these at Alaska Pacific University in front of faculty and staff, along with my other passion, jiu-jitsu. And all these bio oils and everything, just everything that we can produce and that we can take and reuse and get back in that circle of life and get back to doing that, I think would be much more beneficial, especially in places like Alaska, where we are kind of unattached from the grid. Some of the drawbacks are generally just the price and scalability. The scalability is directly related to the price, but you can't really put a price on this. I just don't think you can put a price on this technology. And with 8 years of fuel left I would not be surprised. I'm surprised that there's not more people working on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some big names working on this right now. And I think the technology is into biogas, synth gas, created from our trash and waste that we already have. We already have a massive waste problem. We have nowhere to dump it. We can just start dumping the new trash in there and moving the old trash in there. And as we're going, we can create these new technologies. And the real need for the different types of extremophile bacteria and fungi, right? The real advantage there is going to be we're going to need lots of different types, and as the studies progress on these, we're going to know which types to use to help benefit the processes that we're developing. All right, and I think that's where maybe large scale investors are lacking the input or the insight. I would say they're lacking the insight. They're not understanding that that's where the money's going to be. So for people that are wondering about money into corporations that are investing in this and they want to make their money instead of just help people, I understand. I get it. You have your fiduciary responsibilities and all that good stuff. The money is in the patenting of those strains of fungi. Okay. So as soon as you discover them or crossbreed them, and you know two strains that do this, that, and the other, and you can get some horizontal gene expression going on and cloning in your little petri dishes, right? The guy with the mask and the scalpels, putting them, taping them. You can really start to see where the profit is in that, right? But I think the real profit is in reusing and helping all the people. So if we could get some large scale investors in on this, that would be great because we'd be able to afford to pay all these young researchers to do the work that needs to be done because there's just no way to replace research. There's no way to replace it. You have to get boots on ground, hands on the equipment, and I think that places like Alaska could be a breeding ground for global waste problems. You know, you look at places like some of the most populated cities in the world. They live on their trash, and this technology is world changing, and it'd be great if we get more people in it, and not to mention, I mean, just my Anchorage people, my Alaska people. I mean, running out of energy, and so it's kind of going to be a big deal. Here's all my resources. I'm actually going to copy and paste all these in the bottom of this video for you guys and girls, and put it all down in the bottom. This is all researched, all presented in school, straight A's on these papers. Yeah, it's a big deal. Thanks for watching, y'all. Much love. I legitimately think that jiu-jitsu and mushrooms are pretty much the path forward to save the world from a lot of what's going on. And I mean, I'm doing my part. Look, 2 years.